So what we'll be learning today, we'll be learning Ansible. First of all, what is Ansible and why Ansible is more famous nowadays actually, and how does Ansible work, what goes into that Ansible actually, and we'll discuss all those details, and we'll write an example playbook, and I can go through end to end like a YAML syntax. We already discussed a little bit about YAML yesterday. We did convert some JSON to YAML, and we did go through that YAML files, and you guys were able to write like a cloud formation stack as well. It's a very similar. It's not very similar, same YAML syntax only. So, and what we will do, we will write a simple playbook to provision an Ec2 instance today. Okay, na? So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, what is Ansible? Ansible is a configuration management tool, as well as you can write infrastructure as a code as well. Okay, now what do you mean by configuration management? I don't get it. So you gotta be very specific. What is configuration management? Okay, so configuration means the changes, the data. Management means you are modifying, you are creating, you are adding, you are removing. Example, what is, let me give you a simple example. Okay, let me add one tag called application tag for instances. For some reasons, you will have to change the application tag for something else, and you are making that change. That is one of the examples of configuration management. You are making changes, you are making configuration changes to your environment. Okay, that's called configuration management. And how Ansible is more useful to do configuration management, how it works, like how Ansible has more advantages compared to other configuration management tools like a Chef and a Puppet. Okay, first of all, let's discuss how Ansible works. So Ansible work based on YAML syntax, that's the first thing. Okay, and by default, not by default, Ansible try to connect to your remote machines. This is, let's say this is group of your EC2s. Okay, connect to your remote machines using port 22. Let's say you want to install Java, right? Because you, for example, you are deploying Java applications on top of EC2, and you need to install Java. If you want to install Java, how can you install Java? Simple. You can SSH to that system using SSH-key pair and your user and remote IP. Done. And you will be installing Java using yum install. What if I have 100 servers? Should I connect to those 100 servers, one server at a time, and try to install Java? That's going to be pain. What else if I have 4 environments like that? Okay, what if I want to create a brand new 100 servers and deploy new version of application? When I say new version of application, for example, if I go here, let's go to macy's.com. Okay, let's say, for example, this home is not there. You know what? So this is not there. Yesterday, when we opened macy's.com, we saw something else, right? Here, we saw something else. That means like a Labor Day sale, whatever sale. They deployed a new version of application. Some companies, what they does is, they don't touch existing environment. That means, being said that, they don't touch these 100 EC2s, production 100 EC2s. Instead, what they will do, they will create a brand new 100 EC2s. They will deploy new version of application into brand new 100 EC2s. Okay, and they will test it from here. They will test it from here. If this goes well, they will make this 100 EC2s as a live environment. Live is nothing but production environment. And after cutover, some companies, they do cutover like maybe 4 hours cutover, maybe a day cutover, 1 day cutover, 2 hour cutover. That means they will monitor 1 day or 4 hours or 6 hours, things like that based on the requirement. If they don't see any issues, what they will do, they will simply terminate this old environment, because this new environment has this old changes as well, right? How can you achieve these kind of deployments? If you are doing like a connecting to the server manually and installing prerequisites like a Java, Python, whatever, right? These kind of changes can be automated using Ansible. You can use anything. You can use shell script, you can use command line, you can use anything. It's up to you. But Ansible is more flexible, and Ansible is more powerful than others because you don't have to configure any agent. When I say agent, there is no mediator between your remote machines to this is controller. Controller means where you are running your playbook is a controller, and where you will be executing is a remote machines. You can call hosts. Okay, you can call them hosts. This is a controller. This is the architecture. Ansible works on controller host, remote host architecture. Okay, how Ansible connect to your remote machines using port 22. That means, what is port 22? That is SSH. Okay, that's how Ansible connected to your remote machines. But Ansible cannot connect if Ansible cannot authorize to connect, right? Am I right or wrong? In order to connect to your environment, you would have to have authorized user for your environment. Then only you will be able to connect, right? And we'll have to configure those authorized, whatever authorized method. Then Ansible will go and try to connect to those remote systems and try to execute whatever you are planning to do. So there is a prerequisite actually. Like a cloud formation, Ansible has its own modules. Okay, each operation you have, Ansible does have its own module actually. Each operation they have their own module actually. So those modules are being implemented in Python basically. So some of them implemented in Python, most all of them implemented in Python basically. So in order to run any Ansible task on remote machine, Python should be installed on those remote machine. Some commands, maybe raw commands, you don't need any Python just to print something. Those kind of commands, you can use a raw module to do that. You don't have to remember this, because I'll tell you where to get all these details and I'll tell you the source. So don't have to worry about that. Just try to focus on the concept, how it works actually. When we run like a simple test playbook, you'll be like, okay, this is okay, this is smarter, this is very simple. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? Can you guys type Y in the chat if you are with me? Any questions till now?
Vishnu కానీ ఇలాంటి టెస్ట్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్స్ నుంచి ప్రొడక్ట్ మనం జెంకిన్స్ యూస్ చేసుకొని ఇదే అచీవ్ చేస్తున్నాం కదా, వై Ansible మళ్ళీ సెపరేట్ గా?
So that's a good question actually. So the Jenkins doesn't do anything. Even remember, we had to add the build step to Jenkins. In that build step, what we did provide some simple shell command just to see how it works. That is the place you will be executing all these Ansible playbooks actually.
Okay.
You will be writing a logic and you will be providing that logic. You have an option to install Ansible plugin as well in the Jenkins that will let you to select your playbook and we'll be doing that tomorrow. Tomorrow we have an assignment, so we'll be doing that tomorrow. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any other questions? So it depends on organization, how they want to use it actually. There are plenty of tools and technologies out there, and it depends on the organization basically. Even if you get an opportunity to work on something new, and these are the base that, okay, this works on this. There will be something that can work with a different thing, and it won't take longer time to adapt that, because you know what's happening behind actually. So you have the depth of the knowledge, so it won't take that time to adapt a new technology actually. Right now the world is changing. Today is Ansible and today is CloudFormation, tomorrow is something else, right? But if you understand the concept, what it is doing exactly, if you understand that kind of concept, and it will be very easy, like straightforward, very easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, and I'll explain. Let me create an Ec2 instance. So we'll installing Ansible on Windows computer is a pain. It's a pain. So what I will do, create simple Ec2 instance and install Ansible on top of that Ec2 instance, and I will write simple playbook, and I can explain what the playbook does. Okay, so what we'll be doing, we'll be getting a lot of errors today, but that is the point actually. Without problems, you don't learn anything. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, let me terminate this. Okay, I have a brand new instance. So what I will do, I'll connect to this instance. I don't have to launch new instance. So connect to this instance, install Ansible, and what we will do, we'll write an Ansible playbook to simply create one more instance. Let's see. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. Can you guys type Y in the chat?
Yes, Vishnu, we can see.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So let me go ahead and connect to this remote machine. So let's update the packages. Sudo yum update -y. So these are the packages that are being updated because I have launched this instance yesterday. So there are some changes since yesterday to today, actually. You see that? That's how they work on images basically. So this is called patching. I just patched this server. What packages that I did update? These are the packages that I did update just now. I did patch this server. That's what it means. Just a simple one command. So sudo yum install Ansible, right? So what I will do, I'll do Ansible. Okay. So you see that this guy is saying no package Ansible is available. For Amazon Linux, you see that Amazon Linux Ansible 2, and this is the command to install Ansible 2. Okay, fair enough. Let's take that command. Let me run it. Okay, let me install Ansible. Okay, now Ansible has been installed on this computer. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create a simple playbook. Touch. I can do ec2.yaml. YML. So YAML, people get confused a little bit, but for Ansible, I use YML. It's the same. It's a similar, very same. Like for Ansible, I use YML. CloudFormation, YAML, YAML. Both are YAML syntax only. Okay, let's write simple YAML playbook. Okay. So for YAML syntax, the first line says 3 dashes. You see that if I do 2, the color won't change. If I do 3, the color changed. This will tell you this file format basically. When you say YAML and the first line, these 3 hyphens expected in that YAML file, then only the interpreter recognizes, okay, this is a YAML file. Like a .jpg, .png, image, that kind of files like that, .yaml, YML. These 3 hyphens will say like, okay, your interpreter identify, okay, this is a YAML file. Okay. Just to bear with me, the syntax is very simple. In the second line, I would go just a 1 space and I use 1 dash. If I do space, the color changed. Do you see that? So you would have to specify hosts where you will be running your playbook. I don't have any remote host. I'm running this playbook on the controller. Where I'm at right now is my controller. Just use for that, you're running locally. So I would say localhost. Okay. Then what you will be doing is the tasks. Okay. You see that the host, very under the host tasks. Now you will be providing all your tasks. You see that now one by one. Task 1. Just name the task. What is this task? Create an EC2 instance. And that name doesn't do anything, but I'll tell you what it will do. When you run your playbook, when you execute your playbook, you will see the playbook logs. The task, the name will identify, okay, this logs belongs to this specific task. So if something goes wrong on that specific task, that name will tell you, okay, this is the place where you're getting error. So you can navigate there straight away directly. Okay, this is the place where we provide the module actually. EC2 is the module to create EC2 instance. Okay, how I'm going to know EC2 is a module? Okay, so identify look at the syntax actually. So the first is host, first 3 hyphens, then 1 space. It's not mandatory to have a space there. You can do like this as well, but make sure you have tasks and hosts under the same. Okay, then you have a tasks, all tasks under the same. You can put there or you can put 1 step behind. I use 2 spaces for each indentation. I use 2 spaces actually. So you can write something like that as well. Okay, now I don't know. So I was asked to write some Ansible playbook to create an EC2 instance, but I don't know. I don't even know how to write. Like I don't know. I don't have that code. Okay, let's go to Google. Ansible playbook to create EC2. This is the Ansible documentation. You see that? Open that Ansible documentation. The first one is you see Ansible version 6. Right now, this is still in under development. Nobody is using version 6. So 2.9 is a major version. So pick that version. Okay. And this is the module. And this is the metadata belongs to that module. You see that? So the create or terminate EC2 instances using this module. Okay. Requirement. You will have to have Python 2.6 or more, and you will have to have Boto installed. These are the 2 requirements in order to use this module. Fair enough. Okay. And these are the parameters. Okay. Assign public IP, yes or no, choices. When provisioning within VPC, assign a public IP. Boto library must be 2.3, blah, blah, blah. Choices, yes or no. Assign. You want to assign a public IP? Just to pick yes or no. AWS access key, secret key, remember, I'll tell you, when we create an IAM user, right? And we got the access key, secret key, and we got the password, right? And these are the access key, secret keys. When you are executing your jobs through scripts, there is no way that you can provide username and a password, because it is far different. It's different than everybody, actually. Everybody's credentials are different, actually. So they use an IAM role, or they use access keys, secret keys belongs to that role, basically. Okay, those are the access keys, secret keys provided inside the playbook. They don't provide inside the playbook, but I'll tell you what to do with that. Okay, and like that, these are all the parameters for this module. Those parameters will go 2 steps under. We can write from here. You can start from here as well, but I would use 2 indentations. Okay, and are you guys with me? Can you guys type Y in the chat if you are with me? Okay, Neelima, are you there? Okay.
Yes, Vishnu.
Okay, so now requirements, you know what requirements needed. So do we have Python installed? We'll verify that. Do we have Boto installed? We'll verify that. And these are all the parameters. Okay, and these are all the parameters. Each module, same, like each module has this box. This box is very, very important. If you know, let's say you will be providing some parameters, okay, and you will be missing one mandatory parameter. For example, you are creating an Ec2 instance, but you're not providing any instance type, which is not going to work, right? Ansible doesn't even know what is instance type, how it can provide an instance type, whatever, right? You will have to provide. If you miss that, and it's going to get you an error. And okay, let's go. What was the error? Let's identify the error. Okay, instance tags, instance type. You see that string, instance type is a string, and which is required. But you did not provide instance type, so it's going to fail. Things like that. Example. Okay, if I'm missing something, okay, that's a mandatory parameter. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's go to this box, try to see what it is, try to read the description of it, just comment or description of it. Okay, get the value. Okay, just provide the value inside the playbook. That's it. That's all about it. Okay, this is how Ansible works, basically. So now let's go grab some example. Actually, is there any example right here? Okay, this is a complete example, actually. So let me go grab this example. Okay, and let's go to our playbook. You see that the indentation, you're not supposed to use tab inside YAML syntax. YAML won't identify tab. You're not supposed to use tab at all to get some space, actually. So just use that, something like that, and I use something like this, and this, and fix that indentation. Okay, now change the data. Key name is, what is my key name? Something like IAM user or something like that, right? That's my key name, or any name is my key name.
Vishnu, is it the key pair name that we use to launch instance?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the key pair name.
Okay.
And the instance type is t2.micro. That is fine. And image ID is, ours image is different, right? So image ID, let me grab the image ID from the script itself, not from the script actually. I can use any image ID that I want, but what I will do, I'll just simply go here. OS image, you see that Amazon mission image. I can go grab this image ID. You see that I'll go old output. and I can grab this image ID. Okay. And I can provide that image ID there. And you want me to wait until the instance created? Yes, that's fine. This group is, let's see whether this group is mandatory or not. What is group? Group is, let's say when you create an instance, if you go to, let's pick this. Let me show you what is group. So you see that placement group, that means let's say they will create a group of instances based on their like web servers or application servers or database servers, or this group belongs to Jenkins group or any other different group. They create a group, placement group, and they will add this instance to that placement group. And if they wanted to pass the servers, or if they wanted to upgrade anything in that group of servers, they can run any automation script, or they can do changes against that group. So the entire group will get those changes. But let's see, is it mandatory to have that group? Let's see. And I will do command. I can just say group. Okay, I don't have any group here. Right here, group. Is that the group? Oh, give me a second. It's a group, yes. So let's go to group. Security group or a group of lists. You see that group of list of groups to use with the instance. Okay. So we don't have to provide any group actually. So it's a list. If it is mandatory, it will say required. But if it doesn't say anything, it's not required. The reason I'm not providing any group, because I don't have any group actually. I don't have any placement group. So I don't need any placement group. It's just a testing instance actually. So what I will do?
Vishnu?
Yes.
ఆ డాక్స్ లో గ్రూప్ అని ఒకటి ఉంది, ప్లేస్మెంట్ గ్రూప్ అని కూడా ఇంకొకటి ఉంది.
Yeah, that's a different parameter actually.
Okay.
Okay. Placement group. Okay, I know what you mean. So if I go here, this is placement group, right, Vishnu? So this is one extra parameter, and there is a parameter called group as well. Let's go there actually. Let's go there. Okay, that's fair enough. Subnet, public IP, assign. Okay, storage right here. I think this is the group. The security group is the group. That's what this guy is saying, right? Let's say group is a security group. You see that? So that's what it means. So what it's, if you don't provide any security group, what it will do by default, if I'm not providing any security group, what it will do? It will create a brand new security group. You see that? Create a new security group and add that instance to that new security group. It is going to create a security group called this name. So add that instance to that security group, and which is not mandatory. If I don't provide anything, it's going to create a new one, and it's going to attach this instance to that one. Is that clear? Are you guys with me? Can you guys type Y in the chat?
యా విష్ణు, ఇప్పుడు సెక్యూరిటీ గ్రూప్ లో మనం ఇన్బౌండ్ రూల్స్, అవుట్ బౌండ్ రూల్స్ అవి ఎడిట్ చేస్తాం కదా. సో ఇప్పుడు మన సెక్యూరిటీ గ్రూప్ ఇవ్వకపోతే ఇప్పుడు ఆన్సిబుల్ లో అవి మనం జెంకిన్స్ లో
how you will know the security group, what security group that instance belongs to, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't provide any security group here, what it will do, it will create a new security group, and it will attach to that instance to that security group. And how I'm going to know that security group is your question, right?
Yes.
To make those changes, we'll see that. Okay, I'll show you right now. And count is the number of instances. I'll just use one. Okay, this is a subnet ID. Okay, And let me go ahead and change this to, let me go ahead and configure instance types. And what could be the subnet ID? You see that? So these many subnet IDs. So what, you know what I will do? I'll just go here. I don't think I can get an option to copy. You see that it's not getting me an option to copy. So what I will do, I'll go to Ec2 and I'll copy that security group from there, not security group, sorry. I'll copy the subnet from there actually. Okay. Go to running instances. And this is the instance that I have installed Ansible. Just to make sure I don't get confused with the new instance, I'm going to add Ansible as a tag, name tag. Okay, so that I don't get any confusion. You see that? Now let's go ahead and say get the security group. Where is the security group? Right here. Sorry, my bad. This is the owner, availability zone. What we are looking for something region, not region, subnet, right? That's what we are looking for, right? Okay, let's go to description. This is availability zone, and the subnet for this availability zone, let's go see if they have any subnet right here. Copy right here, assign public IP. Yes, that's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and run this playbook. Actually, you know what? If I have to add one more task, right? Where I have to start? That's a good question, actually. Something like, okay, just I'm adding list of tasks, right? Okay, I will use one space between each task so that I don't get any confused. Okay, and something like name, print my name, print something excited, something exciting. Don't worry about the spelling, that's fine. Echo, and you have to print something exciting. Okay, that's not bad. And this is the second, one more task. Now let's go. Shell is a module to write any shell commands. Echo is a shell command, we know that. Shell is a module to write any shell commands, and this is printing something like this. Okay, shell is an Ansible module. How I'm going to know shell is an Ansible module? What? So Ansible module to execute shell commands. Okay, you see that? So go there, immediately switch version back to 2.9 because that's major version companies are using shell. Shell is the module, you saw that. Synapses, parameters, and examples. Done. Are you guys with me? Can you guys type Y in the chat if you're with me? Okay. Now let's go ahead and run this playbook. How you can execute this playbook? Ansible dash playbook and a playbook name ec2.yaml. Okay. So this name, remember that name will tell us like where the task is failing. This is failing at task 1. You see that Boto is required for this module. Fair enough. Okay. It says the same thing, right? The Boto is required for this module. What says the same thing right here? So requirements, you should have a Boto. Okay. So sudo yum install Boto. It's not going to work because no package Boto is available. Okay, Boto is not available. So what you need to do, let's go. Boto required for this module. You see that? So Ansible Boto required for this module. Open that. Okay. I know how to fix this, but the reason I'm Googling everything so that R&D, research and development, this is what you guys should do. Okay. This is how you get experience. This is how you learn. Okay. So now you see that same, they're using EC2 module, but they have some issues. The job is failing. So let's see what they've done. Okay, this connection is local. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, so in my case, the message when I'm missing Boto, although I had Boto 3, so I did install pip install Boto. Okay, let's go ahead and fix that. Pip install Boto. So pip command is not fun. Okay, pip command is not fun. Okay, let's go what that guy did. Okay, you see that Python 3 -m pip install Boto. Let's verify what is the Python version. Python -- version, something like this. Python 2.7. Okay. Python 2 pip install Boto. Okay. So can't open pip. There's no such a file of that. Okay. You know what? Sudo yum install Python -pip. Pip is a Python module basically. So in order to install Boto, you would have to have a pip, and you can use yum to install pip. Now you can install Boto using pip. Install Boto -y. Okay, which is good. Installed successfully. Clear your screen. Clear your screen. Go up, and run your playbook again. Run it. Okay. What did it say? Can someone tell me what did it say? Again, job is failed, but it said something different this time. What did it say?
Region or EC2 URL must be specified.
Okay, so we don't know the URL, right? We don't know the EC2 URL. You will know.
You can
EC2
give the
URL.
reason.
We'll provide the region, and let's identify where that is. Okay, so right here, EC2 URL right here. It's a string, and it didn't say it's mandatory, it's required, because I'll tell you why. Because what you can do, you can configure your region on the system so that you don't have to mention them on your playbook. We'll discuss that right after this playbook. We'll discuss what is that configuration means actually. So for now, let's go ahead and copy this and provide that region. Where should I provide that region? So this job is failing, right? That's a parameter. All the parameters for that module goes into that module. You see that these are all the parameters for that module, and the region is the one of them. Am I right or wrong? Can you guys type Y in the chat if you are with me? Right? That goes into parameters actually. So the region is 2, US is to 2. Is that US is to 2 or 1? It's a Northern Virginia, it's a 1. So what I will do, I'll go back there and I change it to 1. Fair enough. Now let's go ahead and run this playbook again. Okay, this time we got something else. Authentication is failed. Yes, right? So if you don't have your username or password, if you don't provide any authorization, how Ansible is going to get access to AWS to create your EC2 instance, right? It's not going to get access to AWS to create an EC2 instance. Hey Vishnu, you are running an EC2 instance only, right? You already authenticated to AWS only, right? No, that's not it says. So what happens is let's say this is your AWS API. API means application platform interface, whatever. This is API of AWS, not your account. It's complete AWS. Okay. And somewhere you have your EC2 instance in that AWS. This is your EC2. And you are planning to create this EC2, one more EC2. Okay. You're planning to create one more EC2. How you are doing that is you're trying to connect to AWS interface through port 22 Ansible. When I say you, Ansible is trying to connect to your AWS interface using port 22, then only create this instance. Both are two mutually exclusive events. Both are independent. There is no dependency on one instance to other. In order to make an API call to your AWS environment, you should have authorization. Hey Vishnu, so when we log into AWS API using HTTPS, this is HTTPS. When you try to connect, you see that https:// amazon.com. When you try to connect to AWS API using HTTPS, what you will be doing, you'll be providing your email address or username or password, right? IAM user, username and a password. What can I provide when I try to connect to SSH? Okay, what can I provide to connect through SSH? This is where you will be providing access key and secrets. AWS _ access _ key, AWS _ secret _ key. How can you get those two values? Can someone tell me how can you get those two values?
Key pair?
So key pair is a PEM key file. It's not, there is no access key and secret key for that key pair actually. Key pair is a FEM file, right? FEM file. A file.
When we create the IAM
exactly.
role,
Exactly. When you create an IAM user,
we get the files.
you will get username and a password, but along with that, you will get access key and secret key, right? Those are the two details that you would have to provide there. Let's go to IAM. Okay. Let me see if I have yesterday's credentials actually. Okay. These are the most recent credentials that I have downloaded. But did I delete that IAM user? We'll see. Okay. I have the access key. Okay. And I have the secret key as well. Let me go ahead and copy that access key. And then let me go ahead and copy that secret key. Okay. And save, enter. Is it going to work? If that user exists, it will work. If I had deleted that user, it's not going to work, right? That user doesn't exist actually. So how it will work? It won't work, right? Seems like something is happening. Let's go ahead and verify our instance, whether that instance is being created or not. So our instance is being created. So for your question, if you don't provide any security group, right? If you don't provide any security group, it will create a security group and attach your instance to the security group. And you will see the complete metadata of this instance in the description tab. And this is the place where you can find your security group. You see that? This is the security group. This instance belongs to this security group. So what you can do, you can go there. You can change the inbound rules. Right now, it has only SSH traffic. You can edit the role with HTTPS or HTTP. Does that make sense?
Vishnu, I have a doubt.
Yes.
మనము IAM యూజర్ కి ఇచ్చాం కదా, కానీ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ రూట్ లో ఎలా క్రియేట్ అయింది?
No. So that user belongs to an account.
Okay.
Okay. So that user belongs to an account. As an administrator, he can see any instance created in that account.
Okay, easy to access ఇచ్చాం కాబట్టి.
Exactly. So let's say you are an IAM user, right? And you don't have access to EC2. You cannot see EC2, but you have access to IAM, or you have access to Lambda or something like that. When you log into AWS account, there are a bunch of EC2s. You won't be able to see them.
Yeah.
Because you don't have access. But this guy right here has access to see everything, right? Because he's an administrator. So that was the reason he will be able to look at that instance actually. Does that make sense?
Yes, Vishnu.
Okay. Any other questions? Now let's see why the region was not mandatory, but it pop up in that error, right? And let's see. So you see that task 1, this is the task 1, and this is the task 2 changed. Let me explain this output. So the color, if you look at the color, okay is 3. That means 3 tasks are successful. Okay, the first one is okay, able to run on localhost, which is fine. The second one is changed. Changed means actually something happened, it's created. Changed is created, and you will see this color actually. And this one changed, that means okay, this module has been executed successfully. Okay, if I run the playbook again, what happens? You will see the same thing. It's going to create one more instance, and it's going to print again this one actually. Okay, so those 2 tasks are changed. And if you fail, you will see, if you fail any of the tasks, if you go up on the top, you see that. So okay is 1, that means was able to connect to localhost, which is fine, and a failed, 1 is failed. There is no changed because no task was executed successfully. You see the output right here, and you see the output right here. Does that make sense? Okay, so now, hey, if you do provide your access key, secret key inside that playbook, right? If you do provide that access key, secret key inside the playbook, everybody can see it. So everybody will understand, because I assume that you will have those playbooks in GitHub. Everybody can see your access key, secret key. So I don't. How about security? How you are managing the security actually? That's a big question, right? So the reason is, what people do, they can configure their credentials to the machine actually. The machine means wherever they're executing these playbooks or they're running the jobs, what they will do, they will configure credentials to that box, that virtual machine. AWS configure is the command. Okay, so that will tell you provide your access key. Okay, let me go grab my access key. Enter. Provide your secret key. Let me go grab your secret key. Actually, that was my right. Grab my secret key. And a region, you can provide your default region. And output, it's okay. It's not mandatory. You can provide JSON, or it's not mandatory. Now let me go. Delete this. Okay. Let me go ahead and playbook. This time I will use -vvv. We'll see what that will get us. That will get us output logs, basically. Okay, it's still talking about the region. Even though if you configure your region, it's still talking about the region. Okay, that's fine. Let me provide the region actually. Is 1. Actually, this time I'll do something different. So yesterday we discussed like a get attribute or refer parameter from top, right? Am I right or wrong? Yesterday what we did for CloudFormation, exclamation refer and a variable on the top. Get the value from there, something like that, right? In Ansible, how you can provide the variables is, okay, colon, 2 open brackets and a colon, 2 closed brackets. Actually, 2 closed brackets and colon. So here you can provide your variable value, something like AWS region, right? And this value can be defined on the top. Have one more section called vars. Okay. Inside vars, AWS region, and you will provide your region there. It's 1. Okay. So it's going to get this value from here actually. Are you guys with me? Can you guys type Y in the chat if you are with me? Okay, that makes sense, right? It's pretty straightforward, right? No complication there, right? Okay, so let me go save this. And let me run this playbook again. So it's creating one more instance. Let me go to our AWS account. And if I refresh here, you see that one more instance is creating actually. Okay. Now I'll add one more task actually. I'll edit the same playbook. You can write different playbook to terminate those instances, but I'll edit the same playbook. I'll write simple condition. Hey, when this happened, then only go and change this. When this happened, then only go and change this. And now what I will do is, you see that this is how you will get output when you use -vvv. Okay, this is the complete instance metadata. You will see complete instance metadata right here when you see vvv. Okay, so what you can do, let me go vim ec2.yaml. I'll write one more task. Terminate ec2. Okay, again same ec2 module. If you go to that box, you will see that ec2 module. You can terminate the instance as well. Okay, so let me go grab the example from there. Right here. If I go all the way down, I can see example something like, okay, key pair. Okay. Okay. Is there any example to terminate the instance type? Extra power. This is stop instances. Right here, terminate the instance. All you have to do, just provide these three. Okay. And what I will do, I'll just paste them there. State is absent. That means you will be terminating those instances. That's it. Okay. So then let me provide instance IDs.
Vishnu,
Yes.
what is the difference between stop instance and terminate instance?
So
What
the
is that?
stop instance won't terminate your instance. That means, let's say you are stopping your instance today, and tomorrow you need it. You won't be paying. You are not losing any data.
Okay.
You have entire your instance there. You don't lose any data, and but you are not paying for the period that you are not using. The terminate is it will go away. You cannot retrieve it. It's done.
Okay.
The data will be lost. Everything will be lost. There is no way that you can retrieve actually.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So instance ID is something like this. Instance IDs. So I can split using comma actually. How I can do that? Dot split comma, something like comma, and close this. Comma separated. What you will be telling is just a comma separated. Okay. And provide this as a variable on the top. You can stop me whenever, if you don't understand, you can stop me. Now we'll be providing comma separated. Comma separated of our EC2s. Okay, let me, I want to terminate these two instances actually. Go grab that one. Over here. Bottom, we are telling comma separated. So let me go here, grab this one, copy that one. And this time, still it is going to create one more instance, right? You see that? So still it is going to create this instance as well. So what I will do, I'll just skip this by writing simple when condition. Okay, let me skip that condition. Should it doesn't belongs to inside this, it doesn't belongs to EC2 module. It belongs to whole task actually. Okay, let me write simple when condition. When, okay, you are telling Ansible run the script. When should I run the script? That's what you are telling. Hey, I want you to run the script when instance IDs is undefined. If you don't see any instance IDs, that means if you don't see this instance ID is undefined, then only you will run the script. Otherwise, don't run it. Okay. Here I will write the condition like, okay, this condition belongs to entire task when is defined. Okay. Let me go run this playbook again. Okay. There is an issue, some indentation issue. You see that? So the comma, split comma separated is failing. Okay. Okay. So that is failing. So Ansible split comma separated. Okay. Let's go grab it. So we can go ahead and grab it. So where dot split something like this. Okay. Okay, that failed actually. Okay, no, it worked actually. Let me go grab this. Line 23, you see that it is getting us the error line as well, line 23. So colon 23, enter. That can give you exact line. So this is failing there actually, but let's see why this is failing. You know what? Let me do something like use double quotations like on the top. Okay. Because I don't see any issue. You see that comma separated is the same as what we saw there, right? And no, it's a space is right. And let me run this job again. Okay, fair enough. This is skipped because condition was false. Why condition was false? The variable has been defined on the defined on the top actually, right? When we are writing a condition like that, if you don't see any variable name called something like, let me show you. If you don't see any this variable, then only you can run. But if you see the values are defined, don't run. Skip this task. Okay, that task has been skipped. The second one is, okay, EC2 module region is mandatory for EC2 module. Okay, okay, that's fair enough. Let's go ahead and provide region. Yes, east one, right? That was the second task. Okay, that's skipped. Okay, these two tasks, okay, these two instances are being terminated. Let's go ahead and verify. Let's go to our EC2 instance. Let me, you see that shutting down. Those two are being terminated actually. Are you guys with me? Any questions?
Vishnu, I have a doubt.
Yes.
What if there are 100 instances to terminate? Do we need to provide all the 100 IDs?
That's a great question actually. That's a really great question. So that's a really great question actually. So what happens is, let me, so you can filter the instances based on the tags. Okay, na? You can filter the instances based on the tags. Let me tell you what I've been saying actually. Let me comment this. Actually, you know what? I want to comment all lines one time. So how can you do that? Escape, Control V, that will take you to visual block mode. You have to select how many lines you want to comment. Okay. Then Shift I, Shift 3, escape. Those 4 lines being commented. So this is, let's go there. And, okay, those, and I want to comment this line as well. This is only one line, so I can comment like this. Now let me go ahead and create 2 instances. Okay. Let me add the tags as well. Instance underscore tags. Is that the module? Let me see. I don't know. Is that the module? Let me see. So let me go here. Something like a somewhere. Okay. This is the instance underscore tags. Let me add that to our playbook. Okay, but this tags belongs to instance underscore tags actually. Okay, so don't forget that. So app, let me call app, or I can call country, and I can say Australia. Hopefully that spelling is correct. Then what you can do, you can register this entire output. Okay, how you can register entire output is register module ec2 underscore output. Okay, now what you can do, you can write, just wanted to make sure this register and ec2 under the same board. Okay, they are the same board. They are under the same board. Now, okay, here I can write one more task, name gather instance facts. Okay, so ec2 underscore instance underscore facts or info is a module. I don't know that, right? I don't know that. Let me go Ansible module to gather instance facts. Gather facts. Metadata, you're getting metadata of that instance. So 2.9. Okay. And let me go grab some examples. What is that? It's a metadata. No, we are not looking for metadata. We are looking for ec2 underscore instance info. Fair enough. Let me go grab that. So choose 2.9 and let's go grab some example. So you are getting ec2 underscore info. Okay. ec2 underscore info filter. We are going to filter based on tags. Okay. So let's go ahead and filter. That filter belongs to there. And how you're filtering based on tags. So something like something like tags name. What is that? It's not name, right? It's app or country. COUNTRY country. Jagriti, are you feeling sleepy? Australia. Jagriti, are you there? Jagriti, you are talking on mute if you are talking. Okay, just wanted to make sure the syntax is right. You see that tag, right? That's right. So we have that. So now we'll have to wait this instance to be completed. So let's wait those instances to be completed. How can you say? Okay, so let's write something like run condition, because those instances are not created yet, right? You would have to wait until those instances are created. So let me run this. Let's see what we will get. So now, do you understand this gather information will grab all instances that has a tag with Australia. Okay, tag key is country and key is country and the value is Australia. If it is 100 instances, it's going to grab that, and you will provide all those list of instance IDs. You'll be just providing list of instance IDs to the task, terminate task. The terminate will delete all of them actually. Does that make sense?
Yes, Vishnu.
Okay, that's more dynamic way basically. So that's a more dynamic way actually. So Jagriti, are you there? You're talking on mute. But let's run this script. Let's see what we will see. So we'll give another minute. Those two instances are being created. You will see everything in their documentation because they are the ones who should tell us how to use it. Let's say if you have a product, right, you are going to tell them how to use it, right? Then only people can adapt. That's what these people are doing. The Ansible people, which is Red Hat, they are telling us how to use it. The same thing, right? AWS, they are telling us how to use it. The cloud formation module, AWS cloud formation module, right? Cloud formation to create EC2, right? They will tell us how to use it. This is what they are doing. So the same way that if you are using Ansible, they will tell us how to use it. Simple. Very, very simple and straightforward. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is this gather instance facts failed because Boto 3 required. So now let's go ahead and install pip install Boto 3. Pip install Boto 3. Let's go ahead and install Boto 3. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Now let me go and write when condition to not run something like I'm not going to run this task because it's going to create another 2 instances is undefined. Okay, but here what I'm going to do, I'm going to register output list of instances, something like that. Save it and run. Okay, it failed. You know why? Instance IDs undefined failed. Undefined is undefined.
ఈజీ కాకుండా ఇన్ని ఇచ్చారు అనుకుంటా.
Okay, let's see. What do you say? Instance IDs, oh no, is undefined. Is undefined. Sorry, my bad. Thank you. So let's go. That task has been skipped. Now we will see invalid parameter when calling tags country is invalid. Okay. Let me go here and grab this. Where is that Ec2 instance info tag? You see that tag, not tags. So let me go edit that to tag. Tag. Enter. Okay. So do we have those instance IDs? Yes, these are we have instance IDs in this output. Okay, where are they? Right here, you see that? Right here, there are instance ID 1, and there will be one more on the bottom. Okay, now I want them to be terminated. Let's go terminate them. Okay, in ec2.yaml, okay, let's check for this and I just wanted to make sure the indentation is right. Okay, which is right. Now I don't know the instance ID is right. So what I will do, I will provide a list of instances, something like this. Okay, so the list of instances are here. Something like with underscore items, the list of instances with underscore items, and how I can provide that items, right? And how I can do that is a question mark. So pretty simple. Let me do set fact. Something like it's 1 week work actually. It will take some time, but let's go ahead and finish actually. Get list of instances. A set fact is the module to set the fact. But if you go here and you see that this guy set fact, something like that, create the list or something like that. So what we are going to do, set fact Ansible to map a list. Okay, go here, grab that. Just give me 10-15 minutes. I'm not going to take much of your time. Okay, so this is something this guy is doing, but it's okay. Don't even worry about that guy. So set fact, let me do instance IDs equals to, okay, and So the instances under this output, first copy that output. Now under this output, okay, let's copy this, then dot, let me grab complete output right here. So after that register, what you will see this under instances. This is a JSON output. This is how you should map. Okay, so under this JSON, first you have the register, then followed by the top on the JSON. Okay, and let's go here, dot shift I, okay, and shift V, no, not V, come on V, okay. This output, under this output, and you will see instances. In the instances, okay, and something like map attribute, something like that. Yeah, let me go Google it. I can't remember that. Map Ansible Jinja to map attribute. Pradeep, are you there with me?
Yeah, Andy.
Okay. So how you can map attributes, something like, okay, this guy has a bunch of examples actually. So we can map is there any very good example to map the results actually? Something like, you know what, not use this one. Data manipulation Ansible documentation. Okay. Something like this actually. Map attribute. Okay, let me copy that. Map attribute. We paste it here. What is attribute here? Instance underscore ID. That's what you will see in that output. Instance underscore ID is the attribute. Then make that attribute as a list. Okay. Make that attribute as a list. List. Close it. Okay. Now you can use something like this. Now your instance ID is right here. Okay. Now your instance ID is right there. What you can do, simply write a simple with items condition, looping. This is the loops in Ansible with items. Where are your items? Right here. And you will be providing something like item. Grab one by one and just go ahead and terminate them. That's what you are telling. So instead of instance IDs are defining, I would say is defined. Now let me go here and just run it. You see that now we have the list of instances, the instances with the tag. There are two instances with the tag, and we got the list of those instances, and those two instances are being terminated. Let me go ahead and verify our instances. You see that two of the instances are shutting down. Okay, Any questions from